Hey guys, welcome back to Infidelity Stories. Make sure like and subscribe to the channel for more spicy stories. Now, let's get into story video.
I, 26 male, caught my live-in girlfriend, 24 female, of 5 years, cheating on me with her coworker. My girlfriend and I have known each other for 7 years. We've been going out for the past 5 and living together for maybe 18 months. I flew a few states away for work and have been gone for the past week. My flight was delayed because of weather and I told her I would just stay the night. But on impulse, I decided to catch the red eye and then drive back through the morning. I figured it'd be a nice surprise. I pulled up and noticed another car in the driveway. It didn't really sink in, I just thought it was odd for how early it was. I come home late pretty often, so I'm good at getting in quietly. Walked in, unpacked my dirty clothes and put them in the hamper, then went to the bedroom. They were both in bed, only partly covered by the sheets. I didn't recognize the other guy immediately. They were both asleep, and I don't know how long I stood there. It didn't compute. After I recognized the guy in bed with her, I had one of those moments. Just a red second where I imagined picking up something really heavy and smashing his face. But it passed pretty quickly. I was just really tired and a little sad. I woke her up and told her I was going to a hotel. I think she was too sleep groggy to get it at first. She was smiling for a little bit before remembering. She got up and was starting to talk and cry, but I just tuned her out. I grabbed some spare clothes and got out. I turned off my phone before I left the driveway. I just don't know what to do right now. I feel like I've been in a car accident. Just sitting here in this SHT hotel room drinking some whiskey I got at the supermarket on the way over. I've got my laptop, my phone, a change of work clothes, and that's about it. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to be anymore. Update 1, read the email she sent me. Finished reading it. Cried for a bit because she was pretty blunt about it. It wasn't the first time they'd slept together, and she didn't try and say there were extenuating circumstances or anything. I wasn't drunk or stoned. He didn't coerce me. I was flattered when he hit on me. He's a very attractive man that could probably sleep with lots of women. So for him to choose me was very special. It was a chance to satiate my enormous ego. She said that she'd understand if I wanted her out of the house and out of my life. She thanked me for not calling her a bad things or etc. even though I am. She said that I didn't have to stay in a hotel, that she'd be out of the house in the morning and that she'd leave her keys there. Then she apologized for destroying your trust in me and betraying everything we had. If I never want to talk to her again, she said that I don't have to, I can't do anything that would account for what I've done. No apology is enough. I was selfish and arrogant and deceitful for no other reason than I wanted to be. As much as I want it, I don't deserve your forgiveness. I can only still ask because I'm a hypocrite. I'm sorry. Just reading this is making me cry again. I'm glad she didn't try to justify what she did. But I'm still lost. Update 2, I've been back home for a few hours. I made myself a grilled cheese with onions and watched some Cosmos. I almost wish I'd been called into work, it'd be easier to keep my mind off things. As it is, it's been very hard to resist the urge to call her. I don't know how I'm supposed to settle things either way without contacting her at some point. In the meantime, I've gotten a few phone messages. A few are from her family, who I'm on very good terms with. I guess at some point yesterday she told them that she'd cheated. Her sister let me know that she'd be staying at her place in a spare bedroom. And her dad texted me an apology, saying that he thought he'd raised her better. No messages from her, which I was kind of relieved about. If I heard her voice, I'd be tempted to call. I very nearly blew my top when I saw I'd gotten a text from her coworker. Sorry dude, I didn't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't really care as long as I never see him again. I've gotten a lot of advice and support from people, which I really appreciate. A few think I'm some kind of a-hole for not immediately throwing her out. I don't agree, but whatever. However, I also received a few really disturbing and virulent messages suggesting I should have taken it much further than that. If I'm a beta because I didn't send someone to the hospital, then call me a beta. I'm not out to please people like you, and my heart pumps for that kind of misogynistic bullshit. Anyway, from the advice I've gotten, it seems like a protracted separation would be the best way to determine how I feel. I don't regret the last 5 years, even given what's happened. But I need some perspective, and I'm not the type to rush into anything. So I won't be tossing all of her belongings in the trash. What I could use some help with is figuring out the time frame. How long should I wait? There has to be a discussion at some point. Update 3, about 2 days ago, I came home early to find my girlfriend, let's call her Laura, asleep in bed with a coworker of hers. I was too tired and shocked to even want to speak to her anymore, so I left after grabbing a change of clothes and spent the night in a hotel. I got a lot of good advice from people on here which helped me plan my next steps, helped me realize the world isn't over. Today, I set aside the day to get a number of things done. I deleted her from my contacts, both online and on my phone. I called Laura's sister and asked that she come by to pick up whatever Laura would need for the next few months, but told her I didn't want Laura coming here. She agreed. Then I boxed up all the things I knew she'd absolutely need: bank bills, phone charger, glasses, those kind of things. I also wrote down all the contact info that she'd need to get her mail redirected. Her sister came by a little after noon with a few boxes. I helped her pack a bit, but it didn't take long. Clothes, makeup, and a few other things I had missed. She told me as she was leaving that Laura had asked for a transfer at work. I basically ignored that and said goodbye. If she actually did that, I figure it's something I can't care about right now. From what everyone on here has been saying, now is the time to focus on me. To that end, I called work and confirmed that I had about a week and a half of paid vacation allocated. I won't be necessarily taking them immediately, but it's good to know. I spent the rest of the day just trying to wallow in fun. I watched 2 of my favorite Mel Brooks movies while eating some double cheese macaroni. I picked up a few books from the local Barnes & Noble. And I tried a new game, DayZ, that I'm absolutely terrible at. I think I've made a clean break and given myself the space I need. But I still feel pretty terrible. All day I was having little forgetful moments that made me feel like SHT. While browsing at the bookstore, I'd think she'd love this book. Or while watching a movie, she always giggles at that part. I can't help thinking of them. My brain just lurches in gear to start regurgitating memories and thoughts I don't need. I don't know how to get past that, it makes me feel crazy. I know logically that I need time and distance to figure things out. To regroup. All the same, thinking of spending a month like this makes me feel like I'm struggling to breath. What if I need 3 months? Or 6? Or longer? I might go insane. I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what to do with this empty time. I've cut the ripcord and I'm free falling. Update 4. I've taken some of the advice a lot of you good folks gave me and looked into a few projects to occupy myself with. Changing my living space seems to be a big theme, and rearranging just a few things in the apartment has already made me feel a little better. After talking to the landlord, I also went out and bought a few paint supplies. No murals are planned, but the little splash of blue I slapped over the yellow beige of one wall has lifted my spirits a bit. Working out seems to be a little less intuitive. I've never been in terrible shape due to good metabolism, a halfway active lifestyle, and eating habits that are at least better than abysmal. So I'm not quite going from couch to 60, but it's pretty close because I never had any formal training/instruction for either exercising or dieting. I'm thinking that just getting on a stationary bike for 30 minutes a few times a week might be a good start. But any real advice on what to start with would be appreciated. I might use the vacation time I've accrued to travel somewhere. It feels like a temporary change of scenery may help me get my head on straight too. Update 5. Well, this was a f***ing terrible day. I've been trying so goddamn hard to keep my SHT together. I had plans, things to do. Got up for work, my first day back since what happened. I was looking forward to losing myself in the minutia. So of course I get in a car accident on the way into work. A f***ing course. All the progress I made gone in the SHT. I can't remember the accident itself, but I was told I wasn't the one at fault at least. I've got whiplash, a concussion, and my left eye is swollen shut. Add bruises all over and you get the idea. The doctor wants me to have a CT and MRI done in the morning, so I have to spend the night. I called my folks and told them I'm fine because I don't want them driving 4 hours just for this. I also let a few coworker buds know what happened, and they promised to cover for me till I can get back. In the meantime, I'm stuck in this bed staring at my smartphone. It's impossible for me to relax. My left hand has had what feels like the world's largest 4 in it since I got here. At one point I was watching the bag empty, counting the milliliters on the pump display down to 0. I thought that if 2 could just get that off, just have the hand free, I'd be a little bit more comfortable. I could maybe sleep. Then the nurse made her rounds and replaced the near empty bag with a new one. I almost cried. Then Laura came. And it's like someone twisted my brain. I wanted her here more than anything, and at the same time I felt like throwing up. All I could do was look at her. She tried very hard to say something, but started crying before she could get much out. She asked me if I was okay. I was all prepped for a monosyllabic reply. The reptilian, calculating part of me at work. She knows I'm vulnerable. Maybe she's just taking advantage of the situation. Using it to her benefit. Then Laura took my hand and I just dissolved. My body hurts, I'm miserable, and I'm burned out. Tired every way I can be. She squeezed my hand and we both cried. She just kept saying I'm so sorry over and over. It took me a few minutes to compose myself. I wanted Laura to stay so badly, but I knew I shouldn't be having a discussion with the shape I'm in. I thanked her for coming and asked her to leave. Laura was still crying and didn't say anything for a minute. Then she apologized for coming, told me she loved me before she stepped out. I'm laying here and I feel so powerless. All these F-King projects I had in mind to help are useless. I'm confined to this SHD bed with my thoughts. I can't even manage 1 step forward, 2 steps back. This sucks. It F-King sucks. No contact, but all I want right now is her fingers ruffling my hair. I don't know how I can do this right now. Final update, I managed to get some sleep yesterday morning, but I was regularly interrupted by nurses so I didn't get a whole lot. The doctor advised I stay at least another night after the MRI results. On the flip side, I got them to give me something to help me sleep, finally got the 4th out, a friend from work grabbed a few things from my apartment. I was going to update last night, but I was just too tired. My buddy brought my work laptop by accident, so games are out of the question. I should be getting out of here by noon though. Laura's sister called and asked if I wanted any food brought by, but I have an idea who'd be making it so I had to decline. I need to wait 2 to 3 weeks before I can engage in any heavy physical activity, so my gym plan is on hold. But thank you all for the assistance and advice you've given me over the last several days. I felt really pitiful laying in this bed, much less so after I read all the good things most you folks had to say. I really appreciate the movie and book recommendations. Despite the limits my doctor put on me, I'll still have things to do for a while. This has honestly been the worst week of my life. And I don't think I could have made it through nearly as intact without you. Really, thanks again for all the love and support.